So we just had a chance to watch The Watchers, the directorial debut of Ishana Night Shyamalan, and we'll tell you in just a second if we think this is one you should go see or one you should skip.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my seat, boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my.
Welcome back to another iPopcorn for That review, guys. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And we are here today to talk about The Watchers. But first, guys, if you like this kind of content, hitting like below is the best way to support our channel and let more people see us. And also, we'd love to have you as a subscriber if you haven't subscribed already. But yeah, so what is The Watchers about?
When 28-year-old artist Mina finds shelter after getting stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland, she unknowingly becomes trapped alongside three strangers that are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night.
Yeah, so she's like, I don't really understand how she can afford to be an expat living in Ireland, but she's like an American girl living in Ireland working at this pet store, and she's got to transport some kind of very valuable yellow bird to a zoo. And it seems like this is in a pretty prominent place, but there's this forest that nobody ever leaves. It kills your car, it kills your cell phone. You can't get out of here. And she finds herself in this what looks like a shipping container or something.
Yeah.
Or like a I don't know. It's a pretty small room out in the woods with a wall that is a double-sided mirror, and you're looking at your reflection, but these watchers can see you from the inside. What do you think about this movie, man?
Oh man, I think the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree on this one.
It's like she inherited her dad's bad traits, though, you know?
Yeah, man, it was like the concept was kind of cool. The trailer I was interested, and then I saw Shyamalan, and I was like, oh no. It is her first movie, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was pretty boring and had a lot of holes for a movie where they talk about rules a bunch. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna make these rules and then just make up some bullshit that doesn't matter later on.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these rules, and there's even examples in the movie of them breaking the rules with no consequence. So it breaks its own rules.
Well, and there's just some shit that happens like midway, 3/4 of the way through the movie that I'm kind of like, what the hell? This is so stupid. And then the last 20 minutes of the movie, I'm just like, come on, end already. Like, you could have ended so many different times. Like, we get it. We know what's happening.
I was gonna say, this movie at an hour, it felt like it was coming to an end, and I was like, oh my god, it feels like it's only been, like, I can't believe this is already over. It feels like not very satisfying, but I guess it's over.
Yeah. I was ready to have a very unsatisfying ending when I thought it would hopefully end, and then I had to wait like half an hour more to have another for the unsatisfying ending.
Yeah, it ended like 2 more times, and the actual ending that we get, which maybe we can just go ahead and talk about, but the actual ending we get felt out of place, and like it's just like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that seems like not really the story that we were following this whole time, but sure, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, there are holes in here. So I mean, let me just, if we're gonna talking positives and negatives, let me just get my positives out of the way, because that'll be quick. I think this is shot well, and I think the scenery is nice, and like it looks cool.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only positive. Like, we get, I like Georgina Campbell. I like Dakota Fanning in other movies. Like, I thought Georgina Campbell was great in Barbarian. Dakota Fanning, I mostly like her as a child actor, but I haven't seen that much, admittedly, of her as an adult.
Me either.
But this is not them giving their best performances. The story is thin. There's not much here on the page. It doesn't, and it's based on a novel that was a 2022 novel. If this is a 2022 novel, then I'm going to put myself out there and say I think even the novel might be a ripoff of, like, it's a combination of like A Quiet Place and Bird Box, basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
With a little bit of, like, the mythology is a little bit, is a little bit of a different twist.
It just jammed in there. It felt like.
I'd be interested to see how anybody that knows anything about the mythology behind fays and fairies and all this stuff would actually feel about this, because I don't think it seems out of place for. I mean, I guess we're getting into spoiler territory, but I don't recommend this movie at all. So
No.
I probably am going to spoil some stuff. But
Yeah, no, I want to spoil some stuff for sure.
All the fairies stuff and everything, it's just like, I don't really see how there was like a war all of a sudden with the fairies, and then now they're banished to like this underground tunnel system, and they can't leave this forest, but somehow they eat people, and their wings fell off, and now they just look like monsters, and they're just like feral monsters that just consume people and can't be in the daylight. It just doesn't. It feels like a mixing of weird mythology. It's almost like a mythology behind like skinwalkers.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought
then
the whole time.
they mixed it with like Irish folklore for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. And she starts this off in the very beginning with saying, like, there's this forest out in the woods and nobody knows what goes on in there because nobody ever comes out, and it's not even on the map. And it had me thinking right in the beginning. It had me thinking, like, what does that even mean? Like, we're in the age where
Ireland's not that big of a country.
Everything's on the map. What do you mean it's not on the map? Like when you Google Earth, search it, it's like just like like a transparent like checkerboard background.
Right. Some military installation.
I don't know what that would mean. And then this building out there, another hole is like, how's their electricity?
Okay, well,
how's their electricity out there?
This is the biggest thing about the fucking movie. They make a point to be like, the guy, she asks all the people how long they've been there. The guy's like, oh, I've been here 8 months, 3 days. The girl's like, I've been here 5 months. And they're in this, like, you know, fucking 20 by 12 rectangle of a room. And they didn't once, like, try to, like, lift the rug up or look around or do anything. Because, like,
you guys never move the rug, even when she's drawing all over the floor. You didn't even move the rug.
Yeah. That was so stupid too. Like, she just stopped at the rug every time. And so, like, this part of the movie, they discover there's this metal piece in the middle of the floor under the rug, and they say something earlier in the movie about the electricity must be coming from under us or something. And of course, yeah, they get the metal thing up, and there's a hatch. They go down there. There's this giant bunker, which it's.
But he talks about generators and stuff, like where are you getting the gas? Those generators don't just run eternally.
No, and how they describe how the bunker was built, it's like, so this professor had to come here, and he's
the way the bunker was built.
Yeah,
crazy.
He's luring 13 people a day to come work on it, and then he leaves them outside to get killed. Who the fuck? How is he getting to these villages to get the people? Because you can't get out of the forest, and so every time he goes to the village, he's like 13 more guys, right? Come on, keep coming, guys, because it's gonna take months and months to build this fucking thing. It's gigantic.
He's just got an endless supply of day laborers. It's better off for him to just let them all get killed by these monsters,
and nobody's worried about him coming back to town to pick up some people, and by boat.
What's the point?
I guess is how he's doing it.
Just to be able,
I don't fucking know.
What's the point? Just to be able to say, like, yeah, this place was built with blood.
But how can
understand it.
How can he get out and nobody else can? Is he going to his little boat every time?
I don't know. And yeah, I don't really understand the whole thing about, like, there is one way out. You got to go to 134 in dead end 134 and find the boat and whatever. And they've really moseyed their way to it when they do find their way out. Like, it's not like they're sprinting the whole way there. It's like they kind of take their time and stop and have to have like a little history lesson about how fays and humans used to live in harmony together, and then there was a war and blah 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 blah, and it's like we need to be running.
Yeah, and it's stupid too because like all these posts that are like no turning back markers, basically saying if you go past this point, you won't be able to make it back to the bunker. And they're well past it at this point, and she's like, well, we're not going to make it. It's like, well, what the fuck are you going to do? You're like an hour past the point of no return. There's no way to turn around. Just keep going.
The other thing, too, is, like, as soon as she gets there for the first time, okay, as soon as Dakota Fanning's character, Mina, gets there for the first time, she's really thrown into this situation where you got to stare at the mirror, and there's rules. You can't turn your back on them. You can't stay out once the sun sets, and you got to stay away from, like, the giant anthill looking things that the burrows where they live, and you can't disturb them and take their stuff and whatever. And, like, everybody seems like they've just gleefully accepted they're not, like, loving it, but they're just like, yeah, I guess I'll spend the rest of eternity in this little box. You know, I'll just gather berries and stuff like that and live off the. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, what's the name of the old woman?
I don't know, Melinda. I don't know, something like that.
Melinda or something like
already.
That. She turns out to be. It turns out that the professor captured one of these watchers and kind of like became his project, and they kind of almost have a friendship together, and then he realizes that the watchers are getting much better at replicating humans than they were before, and one replicated him like perfectly, and it freaked the one that he's got in the place, it freaked him out. He's like, this is bad for humanity, whatever, I'm gonna kill this watcher and then I'm gonna kill myself. And we find out like he does that, but then he doesn't, which I was thinking, like, who uploaded the video and like named the video and like
oh yeah, what the yeah, how does that I guess Matilda, that was her name, Matilda, she must have.
Anyway, but somebody saves the file or whatever. But then I'm thinking, so okay, so he doesn't succeed at killing this thing, and it becomes this copy of his dead wife, actually. Which I don't know. They don't give us enough. You have to kind of do your own homework, I guess. But I'm not gonna. She's the one in there, and it's like you find out that her mission is to get out of the forest finally, and it's like, well, don't you know that there's a room down there? First of all, it's full of food, so you're still surviving on the scraps.
That's right. I fucking didn't even think
we
about
could hunt.
Yeah.
And and there's all these computers down there. At least you should be like luring people in there to help you like work a computer. Like, I don't know what all this stuff is down here, but we got to figure out how these computers work, and then see if he can give you a way out or something. Like the boredom would be endless. Not only would you be moving the rug and seeing the thing under the rug, but you'd be messing around with the computers and figuring out something because there's nothing else to do.
Well, they all should have died anyways down there because why didn't the Fae just open the hatch? It's not like they don't have fucking hands to twist it open, and you can open it from either side.
And they do eventually get inside the building, so it doesn't protect you from them. And then I'm trying to figure out, like, why do they even try to kill you? If they're trying to... so ultimately what they're trying to do is study humans so they can mimic them more. Okay. Well, then why, if you're left out in the daylight at all, they kill you? It seems like what they would do is grab you and put you in the box so they can watch you. Because they freak out whenever there's some people missing from there. They're like, oh, we got to find them all so we can watch them all. And whenever there's a new one, they're, like, excited and they, like, applaud or cheer or whatever. So I'm like, so they want more people to see and be able to study. So why is it that if you don't get in the box in time, you're dead meat? Yeah. There's so many holes.
It's
dude.
It's so many. It's bad.
The acting's bad. The story's bad. The dialogue's bad. It's bad. Yeah, it's a bad one. How does a movie like this get made?
I don't know, because you're M. Night Shyamalan's daughter and his production company's helping you make it. I'm guessing Blinding Edge is his production company. So
the parrot has nothing to do. Like the parrot's pointless. There's so many things that are just like.
Oh, and she never gives it to the zoo. She just keeps the fucking parrot at the end of the movie.
She just keeps the parrot, and then at the very end,
it's not a parrot, but whatever it is.
Yeah, and then at the very end, it flashes forward to her reconciling with her sister, which is like doesn't really feel like an integral part of the story.
No.
And I forgot that she has a sister. I forgot that her sister is an identical twin, so it's just two Dakota Fannings. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah, it was bad. What do you think you would give it?
2?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was gonna say 2 as well. There's no redeeming quality about this movie.
No. So hopefully better luck on the next one. But we appreciate you guys watching, and subscribe over there if you haven't already. Comment below if you've seen this movie, certainly if you liked it more than us, or if you're right there with us. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you.
I'm a OG boy. Know that the ride or die. I keep boys by my seat, boy. Know that the ride or die.